We all call planet Earth our home. It is our cosmic location, but our cosmos consists of so much more. Earth is just a part of our solar system, a collection of 8 planets and their moons, as well as the Sun. There are also asteroids, meteoroids, and comets in our solar system. Our solar system is part of a galaxy known as the Milky Way galaxy. A galaxy is a collection of millions and billions of stars. Our local group makes up part of a supercluster known as the Virgo supercluster. A supercluster is a collection of clusters and galaxies. All of these elements make up what we know as the universe, and there is so much more out there that we have not even explored yet discovered. It's amazing to think about how we are just such a small part of something so huge. In the grand scheme of things, the universe and its components can be very overwhelming. So today, I'm just going to give a tour of our solar system. The primary components of our solar system consist of the 8 main planets, the Sun, and their moons. Our solar system is known as heliocentric, which just means that the Sun is the center of our solar system, so every planet orbits around the Sun at a different speed due to factors such as axis, size, and more. The Sun itself is insanely hot. The Sun's surface is roughly 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit and is composed of hydrogen and helium. The Sun is also extremely large. 1 million Earths could fit inside of the Sun. It is 109 times as wide as Earth and 330,000 times as massive as Earth. It contains roughly 99.86% of all of the mass in our solar system. The Sun is our main source of light, energy, and sound. The light from the Sun takes 8 minutes to reach Earth, and that light probably took millions of years to get from the Sun's core to its surface. The first 4 planets in our solar system are known as the terrestrial or inner planets because they are made primarily of rock and or metal. The first terrestrial planet and the closest planet to the Sun is Mercury. It is the smallest planet in our solar system. Mercury has no moons or rings, and it only takes Mercury 88 days to complete a full orbit of the Sun. But a day on Mercury is equivalent to 176 days on Earth because of its proximity to the Sun. The next terrestrial planet is Venus, which is actually hotter than Mercury, even though it's further from the Sun. This is due to the lack of an atmosphere on Mercury. Venus also has no moons or rings. Venus rotates in retrograde, so the opposite direction of the other planets, and the surface pressure on Venus is 92 times the surface pressure on Earth. So any asteroid or debris in Venus's atmosphere will practically explode instantaneously. The next terrestrial planet is our home, our wonderful Earth. Earth is the only planet known to have surface water and therefore the only planet habitable for humans. Water makes up roughly 70% of Earth's surface area. Earth has its own ozone layer, which protects from the harmful UV radiation rays of the Sun, and this is our moon. Our moon controls the tides of our oceans by magnetic forces, which is interesting because of the lack of gravity on the moon. The moon also lacks an atmosphere, making it much more susceptible to impacts from space debris, which accounts for all of the craters. Humans have often sent unmanned spacecrafts to the moon, and only 12 men have walked on the moon, including the infamous Neil Armstrong. The last terrestrial planet in our solar system is Mars, also known as the red planet. It is red because of its brownish-red surface, and it is the second smallest planet in the solar system next to Mercury. Mars is sort of similar to Earth in the sense that scientists and astronomers believe that intelligent life used to live there due to the possibility of there being water on the surface millions of years ago. More and more often, scientists are trying to prove that Mars might be hospitable to eventually colonize one day. Several rovers, orbiters, and landers have made touchdown on the surface over the past several decades so that scientists can scan the surface of Mars for life or sources of life on the planet. Outside of the terrestrial planets lies the asteroid belt. Asteroids are smaller pieces of rock and metal in the orbit of our solar system. Asteroids are typically formed as breakoff from larger bodies such as planets or comets. Ceres is the largest known asteroid at 580 miles across. Asteroids and meteoroids are typically not a concern for us on Earth because when they do enter our atmosphere, they tend to burn and explode before making contact with the surface, although people highly theorize that an asteroid or meteor wiped out the dinosaurs millions of years ago. The next 4 planets in our solar system are known as the Jovian planets. They are categorized differently from the terrestrial planets based on the fact that they are primarily composed of gases such as helium and hydrogen, and they have more moons and rings than the terrestrial planets. The first Jovian planet and the largest planet in our solar system is Jupiter. It would take 11 Earths lined up next to each other to stretch from one side of Jupiter to the other, and it would take 317 Earths to equal the mass of Jupiter. Jupiter is so large that it has 67 moons and is known for its infamous Great Red Spot, which is a storm that has been going on for over 300 years and is so large it could fit 3 Earths inside of it. Jupiter also does not experience seasons like Earth because of its very slight rotational axis. Jupiter gives off this sort of marbling effect when viewed from outer space, and this is due to the different cloud and atmospheric layers of the planet, which are generally composed of ammonia and sulfuric crystal mixtures. Saturn is the next Jovian planet in our solar system. Saturn has roughly 150 moons orbiting around it and appears in this yellowish color, also due to ammonia and sulfuric crystal mixtures in its atmosphere. Saturn is the second largest planet in our solar system, and its mass is about 97 times that of Earth's. Perhaps the most notable thing to say about Saturn is its highly distinguishable rings. All Jovian planets have rings, but Saturn's are the most noticeable to us on Earth because they are made primarily of ice crystals, and ice reflects the sunlight intensely. The rings stretch out nearly 8 miles from the surface, but are only a mere 65 feet thick. The next Jovian planet is Uranus, known as the ice giant due to its icy surface, pale blue color, and the fact that it is the coldest planet in our solar system with a surface temperature of about -375 degrees Fahrenheit. Uranus is a fairly large planet at roughly about 15 times the size of Earth. Uranus also rotates in retrograde like Venus, and this shift is theorized as being due to a collision with a planet roughly the size of Earth. Its axis is tilted at 98 degrees, so this means that in relativity to the other planets, it virtually lays sideways throughout its orbit. So, to put this in perspective, its north and south poles lie basically where our equator does. During its orbit, one or the other pole is facing directly at the sun, which means that the planet gets around 42 years of direct sunlight, then followed by 42 years of darkness. The last Jovian planet in our solar system is Neptune. Neptune has 14 moons and an average surface temperature of -353 degrees Fahrenheit. Like Jupiter, Neptune also has a storm known as the Great Dark Spot, which is roughly the size of Earth. It takes Neptune about 165 Earth years to complete an orbit of the Sun. After the Jovian planets, at the edge of our solar system lies the Kuiper Belt, which consists mostly of dwarf planets. Dwarf planets are planets that are too small to be considered full-fledged planets, but too large to be considered something smaller, such as a star. Perhaps the most notable dwarf planet is Pluto, which used to be considered the 9th planet in our solar system until 2006, where it was reclassified as a dwarf planet. At the end of the day, our solar system is pretty complex, and there's a lot more to be covered and discovered, but thank you for joining me on our basic tour of our solar system.